once if you can hear me. Clap twice if you can hear me. Clap 3 times if you can hear me. I still have people talking. There we go. Now it's silence. All right. So for this next part, you don't have to be in a circle or any particular shape. Just get to where you can see the board right here. This box with some symbols in it that we see here. Y'all can take a seat. Just sit down to where you can see it. Yeah, don't sit on top of each other. Yeah, give people some personal space. Y'all can take a couple scoots back. People in the background, so y'all have a little more room. Yeah, there we go. Okay, raise your hand if you can see the board. If everybody can see the board. Okay, I think I see everybody's hand. Okay, great. So, for this next part, so as you can see, we have this box. We have 4 stars in it. Well, that was my first question. We have 4 stars, right? Everybody sees that we have 4 stars in this? Okay, great. So, we're going to use this right now for our musical purposes. We're going to learn what actual music looks like in a little bit. So, we're going to circle back to, so we talked the last couple weeks about keeping a steady beat. So we're going to work a little bit more with that today, and then by the end, we'll circle back to some of the rhythm stuff that Mr. Matthew is doing, and actually be able to create our own rhythms. So that'll be some exciting stuff. But for this next part, so we have 4 stars here. I'm going to change one of these stars to a circle. Everybody sees that. So this circle is going to be a clap. So when we get to the circle, everybody's going to clap. So we're going to work on this next part on keeping a steady beat. So for this first part, we're just going to count these out. Just count. So these are really, there's 4, so they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to count that out, and I'm going to point to that, and we're just going to count these 4 in time together, and we're just going to get everything kind of like synced up here. So when I point to it, we're going to count together. Everybody know what we're doing? Yes. All right, great. Let's start. And 1, 2, ready, and
1, 2, 3, 4.
You don't have to clap yet.
1,
just count.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
I changed though. I changed there, right? So when I point to it, we're gonna count. So you gotta adjust by change it up. All right, let's go again. Ready? And
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Hey, you got that going. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Okay, so now we're gonna add the clap in. So we see on what number do you see above that clap bar? Somebody with a raised hand. Somebody with a raised hand. You, sir. 3, right there. So we're gonna clap on 3 of this box that we have. So when we get to the 3, everybody's gonna clap. Everybody know what we're doing? Okay, great. Let's try that. 1, 2, ready, go, and count out loud.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
We got that part. That sounds good. Now we're gonna take out the counting, and I want you to. I'm gonna count out loud, but we're not gonna count together. So we're just going to clap on 3, and I'm gonna count out the beats for you, and everybody's just gonna clap on 3. So got it. So we're gonna take that counting part out. Everybody know what we're doing?
Yes, sir.
So let's start. Let's start from the beginning. Ready? And 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2. No counting. 4. I'm gonna count for you. 1, 2, 4. Cool. So let's switch it up a little bit. We're gonna put. Sorry for my bad drawing. I appreciate it. I'm not an artist. Okay. So now, where do y'all see the clap at now? Somebody with a raised hand. It's on 2, right? Yeah. So we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna be clapping on 2 instead of 3. So let's try that again. Without the counting, we're just gonna clap. Ready? And 1, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. That sounds great. That sounds really together. Y'all hear that? So now, what we're gonna do, let's add another box with the exact same thing, and we're gonna kind of do it in a little bit of a loop. So y'all see that these are exactly the same. So we're gonna keep this going until I say stop. But basically what we were doing before, but now you can see what's actually going on. So now, I'm going to start out counting for y'all, and then I'm going to slowly phase out with the counting. I'm not going to count at all. So it's going to be up to y'all to keep a steady beat. That's right, to keep a steady beat so that everybody's clapping together on 2. So everybody know what we're doing? I'm I'm going to start out counting 4 and then it's going to come out. So let's start again. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4. We're getting a little off. Okay, let's change it up a little bit. It's getting hard, isn't it? It's getting a little hard. Okay, so now what we're going to do, these measures, we're not going to call them measures just yet. These boxes now aren't going to be the same. So look, so in this first box, the clap is on which beat, somebody? Yeah, it's on what? It's on 4. And then it's still on, everybody, 2 on that one. So now, I'll start out counting for you. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to phase it out. But this time, you got to really keep up with what's here on the board, or else you're going to be clapping in the wrong place. So let's start it again. 1, 2, ready, and 2, 3. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 4. Okay, that sounds pretty good. That's okay. Okay, so now we're going to take away all the stuff that we just talked about. And now you're going to see what actual music looks like. Does anybody know what all these lines are called?
Music.
Lines? Music lines, kind of. It's actually called a staff. It's called a staff. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we have our staff. Does anybody know what the boxes that this staff is in are called? A square? Right, so we got... Hey, alright. I'm giving a lot of y'all at once, so just bear with me. So I'm going to draw this. Don't get ahead of yourselves just yet. Okay. So a minute ago, we were doing the same thing. We had 4 symbols in this box that we had. So now we have the same thing, but we have 4 notes in this box. So let me ask y'all a question. When you have 4 of this coin, you have $1. So someone with a quiet raise hand, tell me which coin I'm talking about.
Quarter.
A quarter, right. So y'all see that we have 4 notes in this measure? Does anybody have an idea why I said that, what these notes are called? Quarter notes. You're right. So these equal quarter notes. Everybody sees that. Everybody makes sense to everybody so far? Okay, so we got 4 of these quarter notes. We got 4 beats in this measure that I have written right here. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Everybody sees that. It's some bad handwriting, but everybody sees that. So now, so we have these notes here, which means that there's music going on in every single one of these beats. So if we did this just now, we would clap on every single beat. Does everybody see that? Because that's what the music. This is the same thing that our circles were before. So now we're going to take one of these out. We're going to put this little thing right here. Doesn't usually look like that, but yeah. So that's so we have a quarter note. What do y'all think it is? What's it called when there's no music? Silence? Arrest. Arrest. You got it right here. Arrest. So if this is a quarter note, what do you think this is? A quarter. Everybody listening? Quarter rest. You're right. So we got that. So now we're going to do the same thing that we just did, but with quarter notes and quarter rests. So we have 1, 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So in the first measure, can somebody tell me which beat are we not going to clap on? Somebody tell me. Raise hand. Yes. On 2, right? Because we have a quarter rest right there. And then in the second measure, someone tell me which beat we're not going to clap on. Right there. Yes. In this measure. On 3? Yeah, that's right. So Can we do this? We're going to do the same thing, but this quarter note is music, so that equals clap. Quarter rest means no music. That's silence. We do nothing. So let's try it again. I'm going to count y'all off, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to phase out the counting, and we're going to clap on each one of these, and then rest when it says to rest. Everybody know what we're doing? Yes. Okay, clap once if you know exactly what we're doing. Okay, great job. So let's do that. So I'm going to count us off. 1, 2, ready, and 1. Okay, so I hear clapping on every single beat. So we know that every single beat I hear clapping. So we know that these are rest. They're rest, which means there's silence. So I should hear, when we get to beat 2 right here and beat 3 right here, I should be able to hear a pin drop in here. We shouldn't be able to hear any kind of music, because what's more important in music than the notes are the times when we're not playing notes. So you'll learn that. But yeah, so let's go again, and I want to make sure that when we get to these rests, I don't hear any music. We can hear silence in here. We gotta hear each other breathe. All right, let's start that off. I'll count you off. 1, 2, ready, and. Let's slow it down a little bit. Let's slow it down a little bit. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 3, 4, 2, 4, 3. Okay, great. That was better. That was a lot better. So this time, this is going to be the hardest time of them all, okay? I'm just going to count y'all off, and y'all are going to have to clap. I'm not going to point to it or anything. So I'm going to count y'all off. I'm going to give you the the steady beat that we got to keep. And we got to try to keep that together amongst us, amongst your classmates. Because
you got about 7 minutes.
Okay, because I'm not going to be able to help y'all with this part. So let's do this. So let's start. I'm going to count y'all off, and you're just going to go on your own. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, great. We got that. So now, we're going to have, let's not worry about this one right now. Let's take that one. So now we're going to go back to what we started with, which was a measure, not that one, which was a measure with all, what are these called again? Quarter notes. Quarter notes, right. So does anybody, so if we're clapping on every beat, so we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Does anybody think that there's a way that we could put 2 notes in one beat and keep it the same time? Think about that. You think there's another note that we could use to be able to, yeah. Okay. Not a half note. Not a half note. You're close. You're close. So, okay, so if we know a quarter, all right, I'll get questions in a second. Let's talk about this right quick. Clap once if you can hear me. Okay, there we go. All right, so if we got, so y'all know fractions, right? Y'all done some math. Y'all done some math. Don't know math? Okay, that's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to get in middle school if you don't know math. But yeah, so if we have 4 quarter notes, I said that we have 4 quarters in a dollar. So this is the same principle. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you have 1/4, one of these notes is 1/4 of this measure. So what fraction do you think that we would use? No, what's half of 1/4?
1/2.
1/2? 1/8. You got it. She's exactly right.
It's an 8.
So we have 1/8. 1/8 would be 1 out of 8 beats in this measure. So if a quarter note is 1/4 of this measure, then what do y'all think an 1/8 of this measure, what do y'all think that note is called?
1/8 note.
An 1/8 note, that's right. So, if we have a quarter note right here, we're going to break this into 2 1/8 notes. Anybody seen these before?
Yeah.
You seen those before?
Oh,
So we're going to break it into that. So if I'm clapping 2, 3, 4, who think you can clap twice as fast? Not just as fast as you can. So if I'm going like this, what do y'all think is twice that? So we have our 4 notes. We have our 8 notes. So I'm going to get everybody to stand up. And everybody's going to go back to their desk. We're going to go sit in our desk. Everybody get a desk. Preferably your own desk. Quietly, please. Quietly.
Hey, Landon.
Just do it in 30 seconds.
Reading.
Okay, that's cool. Okay.
Wait, oh, you can sit down.
Everybody, you can sit down at your desk. You can sit down at your desk. So, we're going to do a little of this next time, but I'm going to pair everybody up for this. So, y'all two are going to be partners. Y'all two are going to be partners. So, everybody, okay. Is there somebody want to come get a partner over here? Me. Well, somebody that doesn't already have a partner.
Landon.
Okay. Oh, they're paired up?
Oh, are y'all paired up? Oh, never mind. I thought it was just one of them.
That's good. You can work. Unfortunately. It's okay. All the free hands. Okay, so y'all are going to be paired. So we can work on this a little bit next time. But what I want y'all to do. So we talked about measures, that all those notes are in. How many measures do you see on this little slip of paper that I just gave you? Somebody would raise their hand. How many measures are in this piece of paper that I just gave you?
4.
No, not 4.
1 whole. 2.
There's 2. 2 measures in this.
Hey, we need one over here.
Everybody, okay. So, okay, raise your paper up of every pair. Every pair has a paper. Every pair has a paper? Okay.
I don't have a paper.
Y'all share it.
Y'all are sharing a paper. Okay.
Put it
So
down,
for
put it
every pair, y'all are going to create a rhythm. It's 2 measures long. So you have 2 notes that you can use. So you can use a quarter note, and that looks like that. How many beats does a quarter note last if there's 4 beats in the measure? 1 beat, that's right. So 1 beat, you could use a quarter note. Or, if you wanted to do 2 notes in the same beat, you could put an 8th note. An 8th note. So you have the opportunity to use a quarter note or an 8th note, and you can make any rhythm that you want in those 2 measures, with you and your partner working together. So I'm going to give you the next 2 minutes, minute and a half maybe, and you're going to help finish this next time. But you're going to start to create your own rhythm. Everybody know what we're doing? All right, so let's take the next minute and a half, see what you can get done today, and we can finish.
I know what you gotta do. You gotta write your own rhythm, like you were saying on the board.
And when you, if you write the notes, just put it on the very middle line in the stack. So there's 5 lines, just put it in the very one, the one in the middle.
You have to do it together though, y'all are both working on it.
Yeah, work together with your partner to figure out your rhythm. Don't just do it inside.
Oh, you write it in there. So you remember the symbols he showed you? You write those symbols. Make sure they add up to 4 in each box.
All right.
Y'all better share.
What you mean? I didn't even get to write nothing.
So you gotta make sure that you have 4 beats in every measure. So if you're doing all 8th notes, if there's 4 quarter notes in one measure, how many 8th notes? If you just did all 8th notes in a measure, what's 2 times 4?
8.
There's 8. So if you did all 8th notes, you would have how many notes in one measure?
2. 8.
No, it's the number we just said, 8. So if there's, this is difficult. Yeah, that looks good.
Wait, 1.
I think that's time.
Okay. All right, do me a favor. Everybody write. Everybody listen up. So we're done for today. So I need everybody to write the name of them or them and their partner. And I'm going to pick those up so we can pass them out for next time. And we're going to keep doing those next time. So everybody write a name or something that I can identify you by on your paper. Yes. On the back would be best just because it doesn't cover up any of the measure. But if you have room on the front, you can put it on the front.
All right.